Hello, everyone. Welcome to the beginning of the last days. My name is Laura-Lynn Thompson, and it is so awesome to be with you. It's Friday. I'm so excited. All right. So why am I excited? Well, it's getting a day closer to the big march, September 20th. I hope that you are showing up en masse. Canada's doing something crazy. It's the 1 million march. And some people think it's going to be more across the country. Everywhere that I look, and the people I'm talking to across the country are showing up September 20th, 9 a.m. at your city halls, at your parliament buildings, to stand for parental rights. This is huge, and maybe we have a poster we could put up there, JT, if you have an opportunity. I am personally flying to Ottawa, and we're going to be there. Now, we are hearing some word of counter protests and things like that. So be it. Everyone has a right to speak in Canada. This is a peaceful protest standing for parental rights. We do not consent to our children being told that they are transgender or could be transgender. We do not consent. Somehow, something has come into our schools without parental knowledge, without parental consent, and you've all decided that if our child, thinks, because you've told them repeatedly for many years now, that they can be a different gender. And you think that if they suddenly decide that they're going to go along with the kooky schemes, then you don't have to tell us that they're wanting to change their name and all of these things are going on, social transitioning, and we're done with it. And so we are fighting the good fight, parents. So the Muslims have kind of really called for the 1 million march. Now that's a bit of a shock because, we've been out there, doing this and that and fighting as hard as we can as, Canadians born here, Christian Canadians. And then all of a sudden the Muslims, they have gotten wind of this and they are none too happy. And, Trudeau's got a bit of a problem on his hands because his favorite groups are the Muslims and the LGBTQ. So when the LGBTQ and the Muslims are like this, who are you going to choose, Mr. Prime Minister? A small minority group that has seemed to come in with an awful lot of money, but is that really where your votes are coming from? I don't know. What is happening with our, federal parties that they are not standing up for us? I don't know, but let me just read to you from my Bible before I give you a couple of things before we get to our amazing guest today. All right, you are going to love her. She is fighting the entire world for us. So thank God. Well, at least the bad people. She's fighting the bad people. So I love to open my dad's Bible, and you can always full screen me anytime you like, JT. I love to read from my dad's Bible, and he is underlined. So I opened it to James 1 today. And as you can see, it is just filled with many different colors and little stars, references. He's got different scriptural references. So I want to read what he underlined in James 2:14. What does it profit, my brethren, though a man say he has faith and has not works, can faith save him? Beautiful. So if we have a belief system, if we have a faith system, and we don't work it out, we don't do what is right, we don't stand, we are cowards. What does it profit a man if he says he has faith and he does nothing? I don't want to be in that category. I don't want to be in the category of the cowards. I want to be in the category of those who stood strong. And you know what? Once in a while, when you're standing strong, you can get some stuff thrown at you. You can make a mistake in the way or, what you say, and you might have to go, oh, I didn't mean that. But if you are true blue, if you are a person with integrity, if you see that something is wrong, you are going to use your influence and your power to stand up for it. And the problem that we see in Canada is that our federal government is not standing up for the people. And that's why we've had to take to the streets. We wouldn't be having a protest September 20th if our government had been listening to us, that us parents are upset because they've certainly had ample opportunity to hear us. But instead, all through the schools has been these perverted books, and I do mean perverted. I mean all kinds of bodies all over each other with their parts hanging out. It's disgusting. And it's in front of your grade fiver. I don't know why we have to, as parents, be out there. We thought we could trust y'all, but we can't. So interestingly enough, on my share here, 2/3 of Canadian voters say that the feds don't care what they think. There was a poll done, and so just as of basically 3 days ago, a majority of Canadian voters believe the federal government doesn't care what they think, according to Elections Canada. The majority of Canadian voters believe the federal government doesn't care what they think, okay, sorry, I'm reading the top. Okay. In March 2023, 2/3 of electors, 65%, said they do not think the government cares much about what people think. And a breakdown of the figure shows that 26% of the respondents strongly agreed, while 39% somewhat agreed. The poll was conducted by market research firm, is that Ledger, on behalf of EC, during the week of March, during the first week of March. And a total of 2,505 Canadians were eligible voters took part in the poll. The problem here, respondents living in Alberta, all right, we've been doing a lot of shows on what's happening in Alberta, but 74%, and Manitoba, Saskatchewan, 71%, were more likely to agree, while losing in Quebec, 58% were less likely to agree. Prairie province were more inclined to say that the federal government was indifferent to their views. So what's interesting here is that Alberta and Manitoba are very conservative parts of our country, and they think that the federal government is not listening. That's very high, 74% in Alberta, 71% in Saskatchewan. These are conservative provinces, do not believe the federal government is listening. Now in Quebec, I guess they've got the Quebecois, Bloc Party. 58% of them are more likely. All right, couple more things. Klaus Schwab basically says that he counts on Freeland's leadership in achieving WEF Great Reset objectives. So Klaus Schwab is counting on Chrystia Freeland. I'm so happy. Like, that is so beautiful. The way they're just relying on each other for their global, evil, elitist plans. Fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, Chrystia Freeland, one of our most prominent women in Canada in politics, and Klaus Schwab counting on her. Be afraid. Be very afraid. All right, well, let's try this one. Lawyers take a close look at charges against Leach and Barber, okay? So Tamara Leach is, did it not switch? Oh, let me go here. Everybody's probably watching Tamara, Leach, as she is going through the battle of her life. We're paying close attention to these political prisoners in Canada. This is just like J6 in the States, okay? If you want to compare it, you've got false allegations, false accusations. You have very little proof of what they want to put forward. And lawyers are taking a very close look at the charges against Leach and Barber. So if you're following this, Tamara and Chris Barber are fighting for their lives right now in a courtroom, right? So that they don't face prison time. And the charges against the Freedom Convoy leaders currently facing trial will be difficult for the prosecution to prove. At least that's what the Epoch Times is reporting. And I believe that. I was there. At no time were these beautiful patriots encouraging mischief. We left the streets of Ottawa in a much better position than when we came. We cleaned up everything. We did not come for violence. And in fact, in another article, Chris Barber was basically having it out with this woman. Have you heard of her? She calls herself the Queen of Canada. Well, she was burning a Canadian flag and all of that. And he had words with her basically saying, we're not here to do that. We're here actually to stand peacefully for the protections of our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which we certainly do not have much of. So please give a prayer out for Tamara and for Chris Barber fighting for their lives. They're in the battle, a battle royale in Canada over what happened January, February of 2022, the Freedom Convoy, which really brought so many good changes, but the government didn't like it and they cracked down on us. You know, our government, Prime Minister Trudeau, who says he really appreciates that we can have peaceful protests. Well, when the largest peaceful protest of all of our history happened, he did not fight for us at all, not at all. So we have got some things going on in the world. We're going to ask YouTube and Facebook now to head on over to rumble.com, because we got some stuff too hot to handle, some very important news. We have an incredible guest. We do not want you to miss her. So please head over to our Rumble channel. The URL is in the chat of the YouTube and also Facebook pages. We don't want you to miss what is coming up. We don't want you to miss this very, very important interview with a woman, Dr. Meryl Nass, who is talking to world leaders, who is uncovering and exposing what we are truly facing. We do not want you to miss a second of it. We need to let YouTube and Facebook go, okay? We're very sorry. Please meet us on the other side. We'll see you there, all right?